Find the one for today. Yeah, this is beautiful. And this is by Sage Cohen. And he says, when gratitude is the ground on which we stand, we can be satisfied with life exactly as it is and relax into the unknown. When gratitude is the ground on which we stand, we can be satisfied with life exactly as it is and relax into the unknown. So just begin to breathe, meditate on that for a few breaths. Alexa, turn off. Just begin to let go of everything that has taken place thus far in your day. Feel free to close the eyes. As you begin to feel yourself deepening, growing stronger, sitting up taller, letting go of the things that have not happened, the things that have happened. Just allow us to find that gratitude that comes with just breathing. Simple inhales, simple exhales. Just as simple as that, just breathing. Thankful for life, for this opportunity that you've taken out to be here. Nurture it. And then perhaps sitting up a little taller. Begin to broaden across the chest and shoulders. And then as you take in that inhale, right, consciously really, really pay attention to all of that inhale, right? See it through. When you get to the top of it, when you feel as though you cannot take in any more, take in another step. Find some peace with that. Maybe even just pausing at the top. And then just as slow as you allow the inhale to happen, allow the exhale to happen just as slow. And then when you reach the end of it, can you squeeze out a little bit more? And then slow as you possibly can, take a deep breath in and retain it at the top. Ujjayi, exhale slowly. Deep breath in and hold. Ujjayi, exhale. Let's do it one more time. Take a deep breath in and hold. Ujjayi exhale. Blinking the eyes softly to open. And then just begin to make circles with the head, right? Slow, steady, very controlled, right? No hurry to get there, wherever there is. As you take those big, giant circles, just begin to notice, right? What you're feeling in your neck, what you're feeling in your shoulders. How is your breath, right? Is there any tension in your face? Can you relax your jaw? And you continue to sit up just as tall, right? And then slowly, let's reverse those circles. And notice if the tendency, even as the head tilts out in front of you, right? Notice if the tendency is to roll the shoulders, right? Can you sit up tall, even in those circles, right? Even when your head dips out in front of you. Maybe you start to hear a bunch of crunching like I'm hearing right now. And I didn't hear it on the other side. Just be aware of that, right? And then slowly coming back to a neutral place. Then let's extend the arms out in front of you, right? Sitting up nice and tall. Let's interlace the fingers, and then let's just press the palms forward. Right, so even though the arms are engaged, right? You're reaching out through the palms. Notice if you're rounding, right? Can you sit up just as tall? And then start to draw the backs of the shoulders towards the back edges of your mat. And then whatever straight up is to you, let's just slowly just begin to lift the arms. Right? And then you may notice, right? You get to a point where it just feels like there's a lot of tension in the chest and shoulders, and you start to hunch. So instead of that happening, just relax. Start to press up through the palms. Again, your straight up might be something like this. Allow it to be what it is. Don't force it. Can you press up through the palms or out through the palms and relax your shoulders? Maybe even close your eyes there. Take a deep breath. Then let's reach over to the right. Relax your shoulders. Notice where the tightness is, and then allow your breath to keep you from just tensing up. Right? So let's come back to center. Let's reach over to the left. Breathe in that stretch into the right side of your body. So notice if the head's heavy, notice if there's pressure in the back of your neck. Can you lift the chin, right? And relax the shoulders. So let's come back to center. Very gently take the arms out in front of you. As you lower the hands, release. And let's just roll out. Actually, let's take the backs of the hands together and just roll them out. And then change in directions. Nice. And then let's reach the arms back. Interlace your fingers and then sit up nice and tall. And then start to lift the arms. Right. And notice as you get to that point where you start to lift the arms and you notice, wow, man, that's some tightness there, right? So instead of resisting that, fighting that, rounding, sit up taller. Now, whatever that lift feels like to you, just finding some santosha, some contentment with wherever the lift, or wherever you are, however, how far you were able to take that lift. Just be okay with that. Maybe close the eyes. Yeah. Take a deep breath. Just release the hands. Sitting up nice and tall again. Nice. Let's come into tabletop. So allow yourself to stack your joints. Right? Then your choice, whether you want to curl or uncurl your toes, totally up to you. And then notice where the shoulders are, notice where the elbows are, notice where the wrists are. Give yourself as much support. Maybe the knees are about hip distance apart. And then hips and knees, right? Can you line those up? Can you spread your fingers a little wider? Start to feel what that's like as you press up into that space between your shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, as you round your back, tucking your chin. Inhale as you draw your chest through. Rounding and tucking on the exhale. Inhale as you draw the chest through. Exhale, round. Chest draws through on the inhale. Rounding and tucking on the exhale. Inhale as you draw the chest. Exhale, round. Come into a flat back on the inhale. And on the exhale, feel free to separate the knees as wide as they need to, right? Sitting your hips back towards your heels, allowing your forehead to graze the mat. You can always stack it on a fist or two fists or a yoga block or a folded towel or blanket. And then as you walk your hands out in front of you, spread your fingers, pressing through your palms, engaging your forearms, maybe feeling more of your wrist without forcing that to happen, but maybe more of your wrist begin to lift away from the mat. And notice if you have enough space to breathe, right? With the intercostals, your ribs, resting to the inside of the thighs. Right? A lot of times I'll kind of just shift my hips aside just to give myself some space, right? To breathe with a little bit more ease. Again, as you engage the arms, start to feel your breath drawing in, right? So draw the belly button in, start to feel your breath lengthening up your spine, and then begin to work your shoulder blades down your back. So creating some space to breathe in the shoulders. And then start to work your hips, maybe a little closer to your heels. Again, all we're trying to do is achieve a little bit more space to breathe. And then very gently, let's shift forward again, coming into tabletop. And then from tabletop, let's take your right leg, curl the toes under the right foot, slide the right foot back. So fingers are spreading, pressing up into that space between your shoulder blades, firming up your right thigh, pressing through your right heel. Let's take your left arm, extend it straight out in front of you. As you energize the arms, lengthening through the fingertips, relax your shoulders. Again, it's all about space. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, hand and knee, let's return it to the mat. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Sliding the right foot back, or left foot. Again, firming up your thigh, Spreading your fingers, pressing up into that space. Take your right arm and extend it out in front of you. Notice if the back of your neck is compromised, right? If it's a strain there. So instead of allowing that to happen, start to lengthen out through the crown of your head. Firming up your right tricep, bicep, lengthening through the fingertips. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath. Lower the hand and knee to the mat. Very nice. Let's do the same thing. Slide the right foot back. Take the left arm out in front of you. Do what you need to do for you to find some more space. Take a deep breath. Hand and knee, let's lower it to the mat. Then let's switch sides. Left arm straight out in front of you. Sliding the right leg back, pressing through the heel, or the opposite rather. Good, a couple more breaths right here. Take a deep breath. Hand and knee to the mat. Inhale as you draw your chest through. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin. Roll over your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Whatever that feels like for you, right? Feel free to adjust it, right? Maybe the distance, maybe the space. Create the shape that makes the best sense based on what you're experiencing right now, right? Where there is resistance, how can you settle into that resistance? How can you find a pretty comfortable place between that place between feeling the resistance, right? We'll call that the stimulus. And then what your brain, how your brain reacts to that stimulus, right? The response, right? So find that place between those two things, that stimulus and response. Find that and be okay with it. Can you relax the shoulders a bit more? So can you change anything in your body that will allow you to breathe with a lot more ease so that you can truly focus on just being still? Slowly walk your hands back to meet your feet. Bend your knees, allow your torso to rest heavy onto your thighs, let your head go. And then just play with the weight on your feet, right? So shift back onto your heels. And shift forward, right before that response of gripping the mat with your toes. Again, shifting back, letting your head go. Just enough. And then shifting forward. And shifting back. And then shifting forward. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift on the inhale. Whatever that looks like for you. Feet, fingertips to the mat, hands to the ankles or shins. Lift your chest. Feel the spine growing longer, right? Trust yourself to shift forward to find that neutral place. Not too far back, not too far forward, but just that nice neutral place. Take a deep breath. Fold forward on the exhale. Inhale as you reach the arms high, slow, controlled. Urdhva Hastasana. So thighs are engaged. Breathing into the sides of the waist. Energizing the arms. Relaxing your shoulders, perhaps closing your eyes. Checking in with your lower back. Adjusting the pelvis accordingly. Adjusting the front ribs accordingly to what you're experiencing in your back. Adjusting your shoulders if you feel hunching in your ears. Take a deep breath in. Slow as you possibly can. Let's fold forward on the exhale. Take your time. And then walk your hands forward, coming in a plank. Feel free to slide your feet back a little further if they need to be back. Check in with your lower back. What's happening with your hips? Are they heavy? Can you engage your thighs? Can you lift them a little bit more? Can you spread your fingers? Can you press up into that space between your shoulder blades maybe a bit more? Let's shift forward on the inhale. Very slowly lower through bent elbows all the way to your bellies. Once you get there, uncurl the toes. And then press through the tops of all 10 of those toes. Firm up your thighs, spread your fingers, and then wrap the elbows in. Right? Inhale, lift the head and chest. Lower on the exhale. Again, head and chest lift on the inhale. Lower on the exhale. Let's do it one more time. We'll pause here. Don't forget to breathe, even though we're pausing. The breath doesn't change, right? The movement, we may stop, hold it for several breaths. Maybe lifting a little higher for several more breaths. Maybe float the legs off the mat. Keep the length out through the toe tips, yeah? Start to wrap those elbows in, maybe even a little bit more. So imagine yourself being pulled forward out through the crown of your head, maybe lifting a little higher. Lower on the exhale. Curl your toes, engage your thighs. As you spread your fingers, wrap the elbows in. Pressing to plank on the inhale. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Feel free to invite some movement. Feel free to find some stillness. Take a deep breath. Bottom of your exhale. Step or walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Halfway lift on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Arms, let's reach them high on the inhale. Prayer hands to heart center. Then hands to your hips. And then step or hop your feet hip distance apart. And then let's support your back bend. So taking the hands to the small of your back. So give yourself the support that you need. All right, so maybe spreading the fingers wide, 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 wide. And then as you firm up your thighs, start to wrap the elbows in. Right? So feel the spine growing longer. And then maybe just start to press the hips forward a bit. Begin to round back. So rounding back, yeah, we're bending back, right? But notice that I'm not crunching into my back. I'm still lifting up, and then I'm rounding back. So look at it as a chest opener here. Soften your throat, right? Relax your tongue. Couple more breaths right here. Taking your gaze to center. Let's take your hands to your hips. Soft bending your knees, let's fold forward. So we'll come into Pada Gustasana, right? Feet about hip distance. Peace sign fingers, grab hold of those big toes. And then step on the fingers, straighten the arms on the inhale, lift the chest. Let your head go, right? So as you let your head go, engage the biceps. So options, right? Elbows reaching out to the sides of the mat. Maybe elbows reaching towards the back edges of the mat. For me personally, there is one that allows me to have more space, right? Prevents me from hunching my ears. One, I hunch a little bit. The other one, I don't. I'd like you to experience some more space and then play with both, right? Maybe for you, there's no difference, right? And maybe there is a significant difference. So find the one that allows you to have some space, right? Just think about countertop. Think about things kind of jammed into the corner as opposed to maybe pulled out a little bit more space visually. I know for me, you know, I have an appearance that just allows me to experience a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more ease, right? I don't feel confined, right? So I think we can find that stuff in our practice as well. Finding space, knowing the difference. Couple more breaths right here. Nice, so straighten the arms on the inhale. Let's release the toes on the exhale. And then let's squat. Separate the feet, maybe turn them out in a diagonal. Come on, let's squat down. So maybe your squat looks like this. That's a great place to be. Maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like this and you're holding onto the outer edge of the mat. Maybe it looks like this, sitting on a block. Great place to be, especially if you know that, you know, my knees are not super, my knees are sensitive today. Right? It's a good place to be right here, taking this modification, right? Because we're still getting the opening, we're still getting the hip opener, right? And we're saving the stress if you experience stress on the knees. And then sit up even taller. Relax the shoulders. Maybe sitting up a little taller. So I like to squeeze my arms, right, with my legs. I like to press into my legs with my arms. And usually I'll take it a step further. I'll press my palms together. Allows me to sit up even taller. Relax your shoulders. Beautiful. Maybe sitting up a little taller. Take a deep breath. Let's release the hands. Lift the hips. Bring the feet about hip distance apart again. And then lift the toes, scoop them, the hands under to stand on the palms. Maybe toe tips, wrist creases. Let's straighten the arms on the inhale. Engage the biceps, let your head go, breathe. Find some space. Allow that beautiful vase to be pulled out, to be seen, right? Relaxing the shoulders, even though you're upside down. Just let your head go. Allow your jaw to soften. Start to experience some lightness, yeah? Let's straighten the arms on the inhale. Let's release the hands on the exhale. Let's do it again, Malasana, right? Squatting down deep. Whatever that feels like, right? Allow it to look a little different. So maybe the feet are closer together. Maybe the feet are further apart. Maybe the diagonals more. Maybe you want to add something in. Maybe you want to add a twist. I know for me, twist, it just depends on, and I used to do a lot of Malasana with twists, not so much now. Not that I don't like them, I just don't. You know, so your twist may look like this, right? Planting that left hand, elbow, inner thigh. Your twist might look like this. Your twist might look like this. Your twist might look like this, reaching back, maybe interlocking the fingers, right? Maybe not. Maybe you just decide, you know what? I'm in a good place. I'm gonna hang out right here. Allow yourself to feel, yeah? Let go of the pose, secondary, so unimportant, right? But the process, the transitions, the inhales and the exhales that allow us to really find gratitude in being present, right? Let's return back to Malasana, assuming that you did a variation. And if you want to work maybe a twist in the other side, whatever that, again, looks like, because it probably feels a little different. Maybe you're more open, maybe you're tighter here. Listen to your back. So for me, twists are one of my favorites, right? The inhales allow you to experience a little bit more length. The exhales start to soften, right? Allow yourself to really experience that twist from the inside. Nice. If you twist it, untwist. Return back to Malasana. And then from Malasana, let's plant the hands, lift your hips, bring your feet back together. Halfway lift on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Arms, let's reach them high. Put hands on heart center. Tadasana. Here we go. Let's reach the arms high on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Halfway lift on the inhale. Left foot, step it way back, right? And as you take the left foot back, bend your right knee. So one hand on either side of the foot. Actually give yourself some space, right? So maybe the palms are planted. Maybe you tent, right? Fingertips. Little pup tent with the palm. Equal weight distributed into the right foot, right? So if you feel like you're really working the edge of that foot, right? Because that's where your weight is, right? You feel like you're more here. Feel free to move your right foot over to the right of it. That could be a little, that could be a lot. And then start to press through the big toe mound of that right foot, just as much as you're pressing through the outside. Right? And then start to reach your sternum forward. So as you engage the belly, right hip's drawing back, left hip's drawing forward, even more stability, scissor the hips in towards one another. Right? Again, reach your sternum forward. Nice. Both hands on the hips, pausing right there. So give yourself some space to breathe. So maybe just lift your torso a little bit. Instead of allowing yourself to be super heavy, torso on the thigh, some lightness. Maybe lift it a little bit more. Right? Continue to work that direction to find that stability of the hips. Yeah. Pretty significant bend in your left knee. Press all the way up to stand. Right? So here you are. And nice and tall. Right. Then perhaps you begin to straighten the left leg, pressing through the left heel. But at the same time, I'm still drawing that hip forward. That's where the stability comes from. And take the arms, extend them out in front of you. You can always keep your hands right there on the hips or take them forward. Notice if you're rounding forward, right? So lift the chest, energize the arms. Maybe spread the fingers, lengthen through the fingertips. So shoulder blades are drawing down the back. So now your neck's got a lot of space. Then perhaps close your eyes. Right? Action of the hips doesn't change. You'll find that stability here, right? The unknown. You can't see yourself. Just feel yourself. Know that when you're working, finding that stability, even with your eyes closed in darkness, see the light right there. And know that you don't have to see yourself to know that I can balance here. I can wobble a little bit and then remind myself, okay, let me find a direction. Nice, just take the arms high on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Very carefully step your back foot forward to meet your front. Halfway lift on the inhale. Second side, right foot, step it back. Way back, right? Bend the left knee. Again, equal weight in that left foot. Feel free to move it over. And I normally, most likely always will just kind of lift just to adjust, right? Get my hip right. Then I'll return the hand. Then I'll press through the right heel. Then I'll engage the belly. Then I'll reach the sternum forward. And then I might come up a little higher on the fingertips if I need some more space. And then hands to your hips. Give yourself that space, right? Notice that the shoulders are rounding. Lift the chest, engage your belly, reach your sternum forward. Pretty significant bend in your right knee. Stand up. Yeah. Nice. If you need to move the left foot in either direction, do so. Especially, pause right there, especially if your feet are a little closer together and you feel like, whoa, I'm just teetering, I'm on a tightrope. So that's you. Boom. Maybe that's you there. Again, lengthen your spine. Start to hug the shoulder blades down your back. And then let's take the arms straight out in front of you. Trust yourself to be okay with the unknown, right, as you close your eyes. Embrace the fact that, uh-oh, my eyes are closed. Now what? Your eyes are closed. You're still working that direction, finding that stability, trusting that you're okay, right? You know, just imagine the largest tree in the forest. Been around for thousands of years, right? Rooted pretty good. When it's windy, it still sways, right? Not big, but it still sways. especially towards the top. So allow yourself to find your stability, even though there's a little sway in you. Couple more breaths right here. Notice again, if the shoulders are rounding, can you draw the shoulders back? Can you keep that energy in the arms? Can you spread your fingers? Can you reach forward, right? Eye of the tiger, right? Then know when you can kind of just back off a little bit and just be okay with right where you're at. Then let's take the arm straight up to the ceiling on the inhale. Very slowly on the exhale, fold forward to frame your foot. Step your front foot back to meet your back foot. So now you're in plank. Again, let's trust. Left ankle and right ankle. Side plank, Vasisthasana. Trust the fact that, you know what? I think I'm gonna take my right knee to the mat, right? I'm gonna give my hip and my knee some support. So I'm gonna stack knee below the hip. Left leg is straight, right? Heart spinning open towards the ceiling. Lengthening out through the crown of your head. Pressing through the outer edge of the left foot. Maybe you float the left arm high. Maybe you close the eyes here. Trust that you're not going anyplace. And so what? If you fall out, jump right back in there. Letting go of the stuff that you don't know. And allow yourself to find some peace in the stuff that you know. Because you know that if you really focus on breathing, right, you are living, right? You know that you're living because you feel yourself. Beautiful. Let's come back into plank. Then let's change sides. Right ankle stacks on the left. Acknowledge the fact that, you know what, my left shoulder, not so happy. Left elbow, wrist, Know that you don't have to do it. Right? Know that you can come here. You can come here. You can come here. So just because a part of your body is touching the mat doesn't mean that you need to put a lot of pressure in that left shoulder. Right? Rooting into the palm, begin to lengthen up. Right? If you take the arm and extend it up, maybe start to reach a little further, so you experience a little bit more lightness, a little more coolness, as opposed to heat and heavy. Think of the aroma. Right. Let's square off the hips, coming into plank, pausing here in plank. Again, we can find some lightness here. Right? Whether you've got elbows and forearms, whether you've got knees assisting you, whether you've got straight arm planks. So the analogy of you're walking down the street and there's this aroma that just hits your nose, right? Whatever that aroma is. It could be something you smelled before, maybe something you haven't smelled before. And just think about how that makes you feel. Like, it doesn't make us want to go, it makes us want to just open up and just let go and breathe it all in. So allow this to happen to you right here. Breathe it all in. Beautiful. Shift forward on the inhale. Lower all the way to your bellies on the exhale. Right. Take the forehead to the mat. Extend the arms straight back alongside your body. Interlace your fingers. Let's come into Shalambhasana, locust pose. So interlacing your fingers, or interlocking your thumbs, or holding onto a towel or a strap, if you have that handy. So emphasizing the lift happening in the middle, in the upper part of your back. So not crunching into the lower third of the spine, right? Firm up your thighs. Lengthen out through your toe tips. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Not putting the crease in the back of your neck, right? Gazing just beyond the mat. So we're not looking out in front of us, right? Just lift up, head, chest, arms, and legs. Locust pose, Shalambhasana. And again, torpedo, right? Straight ahead. But then someone that just cares about you so much doesn't want to let you go, so they're pulling you back, all right? And you're just holding steady. Beautiful. Take a deep breath. Lower on the exhale. Take one ear to the mat, whatever that ear is to you. Release the interlace, maybe turn the palms up. Inhales and exhales, right? Make them super important. Follow them through. Maybe you've had a challenging day. Maybe you've had a challenging week. Maybe that challenge was just in the hour before your practice, or maybe as you that kind of just finished up right before you hit the mat. Whatever that was, right? Allow your breath just to remind you that you're in a good place, just being here. Let's do it again. Let's interlace the fingers. Shalabhasana once again. Let's lift up head, chest, arms, legs, cervical spine, neck, nice and long. Pulled in opposite directions. Middle and upper back doing all the work. Doing your best to just let go, not crunching in the lower back. Again, we're just lifting, maybe lifting a little higher. Can you relax the muscles of your face? Can you smooth out your breath even more? Maybe lifting a little higher on the inhale. On the exhale, let's lower, release the interlace, taking the opposite ear to the mat, closing the eyes gently. And ever so carefully and mindfully, take control of that inhale and the exhale. Let's take the arms and extend them out to the side, so airplane wings. Spreading your fingers wide, pressing through your palms a lot, especially that meaty portion between your index finger and your thumb. Take your left hand, place it between the shoulder on the mat, and then press off to lie on your right side. So left ankle is going to stack on the right. Feel free if you want to bend the left knee, plant the foot in front of the knee, right, behind the knee. Right hand, right? Can you check in with the fingers a little bit more? See what they're all about. See if you can deepen your connection with the mat. Continue to press through the palm. But as you press through the palm, can you relax the fingers? Notice if your fingers are gripping. Why? Can you soften them? Just notice these little subtleties, right? How they, the little big things, right? Make a huge difference. In your experience. Then feel free, the angle of that right arm, feel free to change it. If you want to walk it up a bit, if you want to walk it down a bit. And slowly, as you come back onto your bellies, extend that left arm. Let's do the same thing, roll onto the opposite side. Then know that whatever you did with the leg on the previous side, it doesn't have to look like that. Just allow yourself to be comfortable with exploring different options, different variations. Not being so locked in on it has to be this way or that way. Allow for some room some space, some freedom. Allow for the unknown to be okay. That's where the gratitude comes in, yeah. Or we're just thankful for the moment. And the quote says, don't wait for the perfect moment, make the moment perfect. It's the only moment we have, right? So let's embrace it. And not just now, right? But it's always the only moment that we have, right? Very easy to forget about that when we're so caught up in our stuff and the busyness of life. Then very gently turn back onto your bellies. Then let's do it one more time. Let's reach the arms back, interlace your fingers, Shalambhasana, lift up. And then continue to torpedo it, right? Reaching forward. Someone else saying, no, don't go away, right? Then let's take the arms out to the side. Keep the chest lifted, keep the head lifted, keep the legs lifted or not. Then let's take the arms out in front of you. Reach, allow yourself to be pulled in opposite directions. And then let's place a bend in your elbows. Allow the palms just to hover just off the mat. Maybe lifting a little higher again, middle, upper back, lifting there, yeah? Beautiful. Lower the hands, lower the legs, curl your toes, engage your thighs, pressing up to your knees on the inhale. While on your knees, let's walk forward to the top of your mat, bringing your knees together, bringing your feet together. Let's sit down, right? Sit up tall, plant your hands, just rest right here. Start to breathe into the tightest spaces of your knees. How does that simple but super important inhale and exhale, right? How does it change things? How does it settle you? How does it warm you and comfort you and keep you safe in those moments of uncertainty? We venture into the unknown. Very nice. Let's gently shift your hips off to either side. Let's come to lie on your backs. And then once you get there, let's hug your knees into your chest. And then let's just gently rock from side to side. Nice and gentle. And coming back to a neutral place. Let's hug your knees into your chest a little bit more. But as you hug the knees in, begin to press the knees into your hand grip. There's that opposite, that opposing action, right? So it's like the hips. One hip is drawing forward, the other hip's drawing back. In this case, we're hugging in, but we're pressing away from us. You should be able to experience more of the torso, the back of the torso, resting, taking up a little bit more space on your mat. Can you draw the backs of the shoulders maybe a little closer? Can you draw the lower third of your spine perhaps a little closer? Let's extend the arms out to the side. Let's drop the knees off to your left. You might shift your hips off to the right. What does that do? Lines your spine up in the center of your mat. Check in with what you're experiencing in your neck. Right? Maybe there's a strain in your neck and you're looking way off to the right. Then don't. All right, look up. Maybe look to the left where you're taking the legs. Oh, I do that. Now I can breathe with a lot more ease. So remember, without the breath, we got nothing. So we need that. Don't rush it. Embrace it. Slow it down. Very nice. Let's untwist. And then let's change sides. Maybe shifting hips left if you drop the knees to the right. You may notice, whoa, 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 man, I am tight on this side. Be grateful that you noticed that. And then know that you owe no one, including yourself, an explanation as to why that is. Just know that it's happening. And then allow for that. And then adjust accordingly. So what does it make you feel, or how does it make you feel if like, oh, okay, so I want my knees to touch the mat, they have to do that. I mean, if you can walk off your mat and just feel that, man, I am going to be the most loving and compassionate, caring individual because I was able to do that, that's cool, right? But if that doesn't happen and you walk off the mat, wherever you go, into the next room or out front and out back, or maybe you need to run an errand and you beat yourself up and you kick the neighbor's cat or my cat and you curse the guy out that's tailgating you, then what did we gain, right? What did we learn from being here? You know, so the asana is just part of the yoga, right? The physical part of the yoga, but then how do we carry on when we're not on the mat? Right? And slowly as you untwist, let's hug the knees in. That's the important part. That's where, you know, that's the stuff that happens when no one sees us. Squeeze one more time, knees, snug. Maybe even lift your head, give yourself a nice hug. Take a deep breath. Let's extend the arms. Let's extend the legs. Let's allow the palms to maybe open up or not. Let's allow the eyes to gently close. Let's relax your jaw. Let's breathe. Right? No thought of how, where. Just breathe. Truly begin to feel the breath of life flowing through you. And then all that space that you can't see, right? The unknown space, trust that it's there as well. Just allow yourself to just slow things down, right? And embrace the moment. Slowly as you begin to gently reawaken your bodies, making your way onto your sides. And then pressing up to sit to face the top of your mat. Sit tall. Bring the palms together, bow the chin. Thank yourselves for taking this time out. Leave in peace, shine your light and spread your love. Taking your prayer hands to your third eye for beautiful thoughts, to your lips for kind words. Then let's return them back to our hearts as we continue to nurture the love that resides in and all around each and every one of us. And until we meet again, namaste.